Chapter 5. There are no buoys near the island, lighted or otherwise. There are also no other families moved into the homes around us yet, as far as I can tell. No one to ask about the area, no friends to make, no legends to learn around a get to know you campfire. Mom says that the summer homes around us will be filling up soon, but soon doesn't really work for me. It's okay though. Susan and her never ending TBR, to be read list, gave me an idea that morning that had been slowly growing and evolving into a full blown plan as I explored our new home. It was unprecedented. It was insane. It just might work. Mom! I yelled, bursting into the dingy kitchen and scaring her as she cut lemons. Oh, hi! I need to go to the library. I don't know if she got so dizzy from surprise at my announcement or from that cut I startled her into making on her palm. Either way, she quickly sat down, staring at me in shock as she did so. It's a little too late to be worrying about past due homework there, kiddo, Dad joked, adding one of his patented weird dad laughs as he deftly wrapped a damp rag around Mom's hand and helped her hold it above her head. We've already seen the final grades and bribed the school to let you go to the seventh grade anyway. Dad, I groaned. I wouldn't go to the library for homework, please. We know, Mom and Dad chirped back at me in unison, then turned to each other and yelled jinx like second graders. Guys! Are you two embarrassing Bowen again? My Aunt Marisol, Susan's mom, breezed through the kitchen door, grinning at me underneath her gigantic sunglasses. Poor kid deserves a break, you know. It is summer vacation. He wants to go to the library, my mother defended herself. He ran in here all excited about it and scared me into doing this. She gestured to the now blood-stained rag on her palm. Get this, Dad piped up. He came up with the idea on his own and everything. Under his own volition? Aunt Mara turned away from her brother and sister-in-law and frantically began checking me for a concussion or a fever. Where does it hurt, Bowie? She crooned with a twinkle in her eye, undermining the seriousness in her voice. Did someone put you up to this? Tell me the truth. Is Jack pushing you around again? Jack would never think to go to the library, even as a joke, I pointed out sullenly, trying my hardest not to be amused by their antics. Good point, Marisol agreed. It must be Susan. No one put me up to it, I insisted, pulling away from Aunt Mara and glaring at them as ferociously as I could around the smirk I couldn't quite hide. I will admit to being inspired by Jack's stories and Sue's never-ending summer reading pile, but I haven't even talked to either of them about it. About what? Susan breezed into the kitchen, clutching her drink glass, but forgetting it immediately as she rushed to hug her mother, who had been away on a business trip for 3 weeks when we moved over to the lake house. You're early, Susan declared happily. Now, what are you guys blaming me for? Your cousin says that you've inspired him to go to. Are you ready for this? You're not ready for this, my dad teased. Uncle Henry, Susan pouted. Just tell me already. Okay, just promise you won't pass out from the shock, Dad pleaded dramatically, winking at me before finally explaining to Susan that he intends to visit the library. What? Susan swung to gape, open mouthed at me, then swung back to stare at her mother, a huge smile spreading across her face to the point that I began to fear for the safety of her cheeks. Hopping from foot to foot and clapping enthusiastically, Susan declared, I want to go too. Go where? Uncle Paul crowded into the kitchen to top off his coffee and kiss his wife. Bowen wants to go to the library. I was beginning to wish that I had never said anything. Uncle Paul, perhaps knowing what it's like when that group starts to tease you, nodded sagely, winked at me, and pulled out his smartphone. Well, it says here that the nearest library is about 15 minutes away in the town of Winky. Ooh, better get Jack in the car too. The library is across the street from a sports emporium and one of those all-you-can-eat diners he loves so much. Family day, Aunt Marisol crowed, saluting us with her coffee mug. Better go get ready. It took the better part of an hour to bundle us all into two vehicles, mostly because it took about 45 minutes to convince Jack that he really did want to get out of bed. In the end, he finally agreed to come, but not to enter that place. He would rather spend his time wandering the aisles at the sports shop than attempting to remember how to read during the summer months. That was fine with me. The last thing I wanted, or needed really, was another way for my big brother to torture, embarrass, or make fun of me. So Dad, Uncle Paul, and Jack hopped into Paul's old rattler of a pickup and headed over to Sporto's World O Sports Things. Yay, sports! Susan, myself, and our moms bundled into our SUV. We followed the truck for almost all of the trip, but then suddenly a row of giant building sized book spines appeared to our left, and Susan almost hyperventilated from the pure joy of that sight.